Ever since Deltarune Chapter 1 came out in 2018, a boogeyman has existed within the community. The Knight. Many theories were crafted as to who or what they could possibly be. Some said Ralsei, as his actions were often suspicious. Others argued there could potentially be multiple Knights. Many, though, speculated Chris themselves. And after the ending of Chapter 2, it seemed all but confirmed. That was, until Chapters 3 and 4 came out, and we saw the Knight for the first time. Not only that, but they had answers. And with that, the Knight candidate pool was lowered to a mere 2 people. Carol, Noel's mother, and a suspicious character in Chapter 4, and the topic of today's video, Des, the lost girl. Sorry, I had to get that out of my system. Before I start this video, I'll just like to give a disclaimer. It's just a fucking game! What I'm trying to say is, even if you disagree with every last word I say in this video, and if this video actually does well, please keep it civil in the comment section. We all are most definitely wrong in at least one part of our theories. We are all stupid, okay? So this is literally the script, and I just somehow forgot to say it, but I'm gonna go over theories that have actual valid in-game basis and aren't just speculation, okay? Okay. Now that that's laid out, I'm going to go over 5 theories as to why people think Des is the Knight, and then do a lightning round. With that, let the Debunkathon begin. Starting with quite possibly the most cited evidence as to why Des is the Knight. Honestly, before playing Chapter 4, I thought Des was the Knight too, even citing this bat-looking thing as proof. But I hate to break it to everyone, this literally cannot be a flag. And don't think you're safe, Carol believers, because this can't be her damn katana either. So if it's not either of those, what is it? Well, let me explain. According to the prophecy, it says the Knight, which makes, presumably, dark fountains with blackened knife, right? And guess what we see the Knight do with that very same sword they use at the end of Chapter 4? That's right, they make a dark fountain. Meaning this sword we see in the dark world can only be the blackened knife in the light world. Obviously though, this will only apply to the Knight themselves, given both the wording and the fact Chris and Susie opened dark fountains with a pretty normal looking knife. But I won't lie, this theory actually took a while for me to crack, so this one is actually pretty good and logical. A theory that didn't take long for me to debunk though was whoever made this f***ing image will, by my decree, end up in prison one day. That aside, this theory is unironically stupid as shit! I honest to God have multiple ways to debunk this, so let's start with debunk number 1. The mouse being left-handed is a completely useless argument because it is clearly unintentional. I looked at all of the computers in Hometown that I know of, and guess what? 6 out of 9 of them have quote-unquote left-handed mouses. The only reason 3 of them didn't is because they were mirrored from other computers. I hate to say, oh, it's just an oversight from Mr. Fox, because usually that's just a lazy excuse, but this time it seriously is. Also, Des's computer is literally just a copy and paste of Azrael's, so I didn't start with this one because it's a little more niche, but if you're using the quote-unquote left-handed argument specifically for Des being the Knight and against Carol, it really doesn't hold up, because think about it, Noah's computer supposedly has a left-handed mouse too then, yeah? Guess what left-handedness is? Hereditary, that's what. And since the left-handedness gene is recessive, it would most likely mean both parents are left-handed. Admittedly, this is pretty speculatory. I won't give it its own section, but the last debunk would be the fact that the Knight being left-handed is purely a stylistic choice for the fight. You know, by having the weapon up in the forefront and all. But my main debunk for this theory is the first one, so just keep that in mind. Hey, Editorship Bunker here. While I was procrastinating on working this video, a video got my recommended. I'll put it on screen and in the description. But, they point out, in the video, they point out how when the Knight turns around, their sword is suddenly in their right hand, which would prove my theory here that the Knight, quote-unquote, being left-handed is simply a stylistic choice. So I just thought I'd throw that in because it's pretty relevant to this point here. Anyways, I thought it would be neat if for the next few theories, rather than being straight up Des theories, they're more like debunking reasons on why Carol isn't the Knight. I thought I'd do this because I see a lot of people use these arguments when they're defending their Des is the Knight thesis, so Okay, I know I said I'd only be going over theories with considerable in-game validity, but I've just seen this one so much that I just had to do it. I'm gonna keep this quick. While this could be called speculatory, in my opinion, the knight is probably an alter ego of whomever they are in the light world. Even if we assume the knight is Des, with what we know about Des so far, the knight would still, again, in my opinion, have to be an alter ego for her. While we're here, quick bonus debunk, the knight doesn't spare Chris because they're childhood friends. It's because Chris is working with the knight. Anyways, theory number 4 is... Again, I know this theory has next to no actual in-game basis, but I'm going to go over it for the same reason as the last one. I have 2 possible debunks for this one. Because listen, if you have the Shadow Mantle equipped on someone, which, according to the description, reduces damage taken from dark and star attacks, guess what? These snowflakes get their damage reduced if they hit a character wearing said Shadow Mantle. So these are stars, not snowflakes. But one could still argue that they just visually resemble snowflakes, and that's proof enough for them. Okay, let's run with that. What's your point though? If anything, that backs up Carol being the knight more than Des. We have absolutely nothing that claims Des is in any way related to the cold. Carol, however, does. In the normal route, when she puts her hand on Chris's shoulder, it says you felt a cold hand on your shoulder, and Susie says something about the room's temperature going down by 5 degrees after Carol walked in. So I genuinely don't understand how this helps Des's case for being the knight. Real quick, before the final theory, let's go through that lightning round. Specifically, I'm going to debunk a few of the theories posted in this video. I'll link the original video in the description since it's always better to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. Ready? This theory goes off the basis that Azrael and Des are together, and he explains why he, among others, believe Des and Azrael are dating. This is cool and all, but honestly this theory, to me, holds absolutely no merit. For one, this could very well just be a case of sampling. We know Toby Fox has sampled in the past. For example, the Amen break appears in Omega Flowey's theme. Also, even if we do go by yes, Toby intentionally added an Azrael motif here. I want you to look me dead in the eyes and tell me what Muffet and Naps the Blue have in common, because those two share a motif. While we're on the topic of music. Okay, so originally here, I was going to argue that, oh, Lost Girl isn't confirmed to be Des's theme, blah blah blah, but I mean, I wasn't even convincing myself with that argument, so instead, I have a question for you. Is this really a motif? To my knowledge, the motif is like in this one section when sped up, reversed, and like it's not even the complete melody, it's chopped up too. Like, I know Toby Fox is known for including pretty hidden motifs in his music, but this really feels like a stretch. I know this isn't hard proof this theory is debunked, but this theory also wasn't exactly hard evidence, so... This theory, again, works off the basis that Des and Azrael are in a relationship, which, again, is fine and dandy, but, again, really holds no merit. Dark fountains, when you get up close to them, are rainbow, so it makes sense as to why the dark fountain goes rainbow here. But the night being rainbow is where things get interesting. Not really. Honestly, and this is definitely just speculation, but the next show probably just glows rainbow because they're just so one with the darkness, I guess. Again, neither a hard debunk nor a hard proof, so let's just skip to the good part. Lightning round over. This is quite possibly the most damning evidence against Carol believers that Des believers have. For those who are unaware, allow me to explain. After Carol comes home early from work, she brings Noel to the kitchen to presumably chew her out. After literally 1 minute, she comes out and tells Chris that they're always welcome, and Chris leaves. Chris and Susie bumble around for a bit. First, they go to Chris's house, only to find out it's locked. Then they make their way to church to ask Toriel to let Chris in, only to find a dark fountain. They instinctively hop in to investigate, only to find the knight after only a few minutes of being in the dark world. Did you catch it? How, if she was the knight, would Carol have time to make it from her house back over to the church to meet Chris and Susie in the dark world? And honestly, I don't have any hard proof against this point, but I can at least try and speculate, starting from the least schizo. I hate to play the Toby Fox is human and everyone makes mistakes card again, but think about it. How the fuck does Toriel get from the ruins all the way to Asgore's castle at the end of Undertale, like that's literally your entire journey thus far, and she just spawns in. Like, what I'm trying to say is, don't just write this off as undeniable proof that Carol 100% isn't the knight and Des 100% is. Okay, like, think about it. I mean, like, Chris and Susie went to check on Chris's house before going to church. I don't know, maybe Carol's like a speedrunner or some shit. I don't know. But anyways, this last one is like pure speculation. So take it with several grains of salt, but again, this is pure theory crafting, and there's a 99.9% chance I am completely and utterly incorrect. This is the least likely scenario. But Carol could have opened a dark fountain in her own kitchen. Think about it. As mentioned earlier, Carol takes less than a minute to quote-unquote deal with Noelle in the kitchen, even when progressing dialogue normally. Given this, what if instead of a lecture, Carol just opened a fucking dark fountain in the kitchen, left to bid Chris farewell, then went back in and did some Ralsei like Dark World teleportation stuff? Now that I think about it, if Ralsei can do that weird ass Dark World teleportation stuff, what's stopping the knight? And don't say being a lightner, because the knight can literally fly, turn into a bird, use weird psychic magic, and a bunch of other shit. I don't know. Again, that's not my main debunk, just a cool theory I had in like the shower or something. If it wasn't obvious, I personally think Carol is the knight, but I've come to really better understand the Des believer's perspective as I've researched for this video. However, in my opinion, I think Toby is cooking something else with Des. I feel that her plotline of being missing is a completely separate mystery from the knight, and it should stay that way. While the knight may not turn out to be Carol, I really hope it's not Des. It seriously undermined what we know about her now. But again, that's just my opinion. If you have any Des is the Knight theories you would want to see me go over that aren't just pure speculation, comment them down below. And with that, thanks for watching.